Hi, this is Greg Spizzato, and today we're going to talk about triggers. So, to use triggers, we select the campaign that we want to manage, and then we see the triggers navigation option on the left-hand side. So, we just click that, and that brings us to the triggers menu. Now, what are triggers? A trigger is something specific about a player that may upset them if it is brought up during a game. And so, in many of these types of games, players will privately share certain things about them that they would prefer not to experience while playing one of your games. And as a server or a group grows in size, it can become difficult to keep track of all of the triggers amongst all of the players, especially in a West Marches style game. So this feature is made specifically to help manage that particular aspect of running games in a West Marches style campaign. So we're going to go through all the different things you can do with triggers. They are a very flexible feature in Westmarchesgame. So there's a couple different things uh, that can be done with them. But we're going to start really simple, and we're just going to start by creating a player trigger. So when we do that, we get this form here. It's very familiar to creating another record in Westmarchesgame. And I'm just going to pick my own name. I'm a player in this game, so I'll just pick my handle here. And for the name, I'm just going to put spiders. Or actually, we'll make it more generic. We'll do bugs. And then I pick a category, which is either yes, maybe, or no. So yes generally means that I am okay with this appearing in the games that I play. Maybe is I'm not sure if I'm okay with this coming up in the games that I played, or they can appear in the games that I play, but under certain conditions. And then no is I do not want this to show up in my game. So for bugs, I'm going to put maybe, and then for the description, I'm going to put most bugs are okay. Um, I really don't like spiders. Uh, okay. And then we just hit save, and now this trigger exists within Westmarchesgame. So we'll have a long list of triggers here, but this is not really where they are useful. They are most useful when we are planning a game. So if I go into games here, and let's see, I'll pick Aldrich's Melodious Idol here as the example. And I'll scroll down. Let's see, so I have Petra and Ulrich as part of my game, and then because I am technically part of this game, all of my triggers will show up here as well. So as you can see, um, it shows the title or the name of the trigger and then the description of the trigger, which can give more context around what that trigger is about. And then at the bottom here, just shows the player um, in which that trigger is tied to, in which case it's me. So again, because I'm part of this game, all of my triggers will show up in this section here. If Petra or Ulrich had any triggers, they would show up here as well. Um, so I will manage this, and I'll just show you what happens if I make this a yes, and I change this to bugs are fine. Love to see bugs in my game. Okay, save, and then if I were to refresh this, Now that hand, that stop hand turns into a thumbs up, and then you see the description is changed, and because I changed it to a yes, the color of the trigger has changed from yellow to green. And then again, I'm going to change it one more time just to show you what a no would look like. Bugs are not okay. Please, no bugs. Okay, da, 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 da. I'll save that. And then again, I will refresh this again. And there we go. So uh, we have, by default, three different trigger states. We have yes, maybe, and no. And um, they are color coded accordingly. Um, but I need a little bit more control over triggers in my campaign. I don't like the labels yes, maybe, or no. I want to change them. So, how would I go about doing that? Well, the rules around triggers can be customized using the rules section of your campaign. So, the rules section of the campaign actually manages quite a bit of different things if you've not seen it before. It controls level advancement. It can display custom warnings within your campaign, um, and then it also sets up the optimized defaults for creating a new game in your West Marches campaign. So this block of code here is customizable, but be very careful when editing it. It is kind of like the spinal cord of your campaign, um, and I really do mean that. If there's a syntax error while editing this section of your campaign, like you forget to put in a comma or you have an extra comma, um, it won't break the software, but all of the characters within your campaign will collapse down to level one. So it's important to be very careful when editing the rules section. So I'm going to show you what I do when I make changes here. And then we're going to make a change together to customize how triggers work. So you start by clicking the update button. Um, and what I do is I will select all in this text field, and then I'll copy the text, and then I will make I will save this uh, to my local file system here. That way, if I break anything, I have this backup file, and I can just paste this right in here, and the campaign will be fine. It'll be like nothing ever happened. Um, so I have a example here of a way to customize triggers. So I'm going to add that into this campaign here. I'm going to intentionally break it so that way you know what that looks like. So I'm supposed to have a comma here, but I'm not going to do that. And I'm going to break the campaign uh, just to show you. So when this black box under campaign rules is empty, it means the rules were not able to be loaded properly, and the campaign is broken. Um, Not a super big deal if you made a backup, but like as an example, I don't know. We'll go to Terra here. Terra's supposed to be like level 6 or 5 or something. Um, where are you, Terra? There you go. All right. And as you can see, Terra's level 0. So that's what happens if the rules section is broken here. But it's easy to fix. Like I said, it was just a syntax error. We do that, and There we go. So the rules are back, and I'm sure if I were to look at Tara's page again, she would show the appropriate level here. Yeah, level 6. That's great. All right. So how do we customize triggers? Well, you need a little bit of code. I've pre-written this code here. Um, and then the code gets loaded into the campaign and it's formatted very nicely here, so it's easy to read. So basically, you start with a section called triggers, and then each one of these is what we call a category of triggers. So the first three are going to override what the defaults are. So if we go back to that game that we were working with, Aldrich Melodious Idol, and we scroll down. So this used to say yes, maybe, and no, but as you could see, because of the campaign rules, we've overridden this to be enthusiastic consent, potentially triggering, and do not include. So we were able to change the text labels of the default yes, maybe, and no trigger states or trigger categories. Um, Plus, we've added a fourth type of trigger called a notice. And as you can see, that has been added here. And we can start using the notice type immediately. So I'll make another trigger for me. Um, and then I'll put a for your information. And then for a category, I'll pick notice. And then for the description, I really like challenging games. Okay, so just put that in there and then save. Okay, and then when I go back to my game, you could see this new type of notice has been loaded, and it's blue. How exciting! Um, so we can actually set the color here and the icon that's used here. Now, if you do add a fourth or additional type of triggers outside the default three that the software comes with, be very wary if you later decide that you want to remove them. I'll show you what that looks like too. Again, it's not really going to break anything. It's just going to kind of look off. So I'm going to remove this notice trigger, and then I have to remove that comma as well, otherwise the rules won't work properly. There we go, looks good. Um, so now if I were to reload this after removing the notice category of triggers, the software gets a little confused and doesn't really know what color to set this trigger as, and it doesn't have an icon for it either, just kind of has a blank space there. And then if I go into the player triggers menu and I refresh this, you'll see this notice change into a number. Um, so you just want to be really careful when adding trigger categories and then removing them, because if you're already using the category and then you remove it, the software will get a little confused, but it will still operate normally. So I'll just do manage here, update, and as you can see, the notice choice is gone. Now I have to choose between one of these categories. So again, it's not the end of the world, but it can be quite annoying. So if you do add a new category for your campaign, you generally just want to keep it there, just so that nothing like this happens. But it is fixable. I recategorized this as a different category type, and now it looks good again. Um, so that's basically it. That's pretty much everything that you can do with triggers. Um, Managing triggers is pretty simple. Um, like for example, like if this is no longer relevant, We could either change the information in here as you saw, or we could just delete it. And then I go back into here and there you go, it's gone. So triggers are a very flexible tool that can be utilized within Westmarchesgame. It's very easy to set them up and customize them the way they need to work specific to your campaign. Thank you.